So, Kevin, to summarise, what are the main actions you want people in Brown Hill to take to prepare for the upcoming fire season?
Well, in areas like this, it's really important for people to uh, talk to their neighbours, understand what they're going to do in the event of a fire, and come up with a mutual plan. So everyone needs to come up with a plan, and that plan is best if it's actually written and practiced. If in writing it down, you have to think a bit harder about what it is going to do, and by practicing it, you see whether or not it's going to work. And there's every chance the first time you practice it, you'll find that it won't work. So it's really important to practice. So have a plan. Now the plan needs to have a backup as well. You can't just say, "Oh look, I'm out of here if it's a bad day," uh, because there are a whole range of circumstances which may eventuate that or prevent you from leaving. So it's always a good idea to prepare your house well, regardless of whether you're there. So that gives your house the maximum chance of surviving anyway, even if you're not there. But it also gives you a backup in the sense that if you have to take shelter in your house, then the house is going to give you the best potential survival chances. And then I guess the other thing is that throughout the fire season and in the event of a fire, you need to stay well informed. So again, talking to your neighbour is useful, and but you also need to be listening to the radio. You need to be getting online. You need to be looking at other resource information that you may have about how the season's developing. So the Brown Hill website is a really useful place to find some up-to-date and in terms of ideas of what you can do, but also up-to-date things about what the season's like, where you can actually find some useful information. You can't totally rely on your mobile phone or the internet for this information. Radio is by far the safest bet. You've got a radio in your car. You should have a battery radio in your house as well. But staying informed, information is power in a sense. So if you understand what the fire is doing, it gives you time to prepare and think about what you're doing. So a fire that would have an impact on an area like Brown Hill, the biggest impact type fire, you would potentially have a couple of hours to prepare. But if you don't act immediately, those 2 hours suddenly disappear and you find that the fire is on your doorstep. So you need to have your plan, work out what your trigger levels are. You need to have your house well prepared in the case that you can't actually evacuate if that was going to be your plan. You need to understand what your neighbours are doing. You may need to help your neighbours, or your neighbours may be able to help you. But even if you just understand what they're doing, that's part of keeping informed. And then understand what the fire's doing. And that might be just a matter of going outside, getting outside the air conditioner, having a look at the smoke, seeing what the wind is doing, what the smoke is doing, as well as using those other electronic forms.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise, Kevin. And please take a look at the Brown Hill Community FireAware Network website for lots of up-to-date information on what we need to do in our